Hello, my name is Dr. Michelle Maidenberg. I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of our past self and our current self. And what I've been experiencing with many people is, this shell of themselves that existed in the past based on who they were. And that could be before they decided, to experience personal growth and work on themselves, or commit and dedicate themselves to changing behaviors. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I'll give you two examples. One is a person that I'm working with, and in the past he exhibited a lot of impulsive behaviors and addictive behaviors and has worked on that a lot over the years. And every time, he sees himself kind of repeating certain behaviors that look like the way he was, the feelings about himself regarding the way he was kind of comes up and consumes him. And he gets really fearful that he's going to be that person and behave in that way again. So it's hard for him to see himself as this kind of new version and progressive version of himself. So when he's behaving, it's hard for him to actually say, no, that was past behavior. That's not me anymore. I've made a lot of progress. I've really worked on myself, and I will never get to that space again. I may have a human moment and, have some regressive behavior or slip, but I will never be that person. I've made too much progress to go back to that place. And that constantly happens, I find, where we have a really hard time making a distinction and a separation between who we were and who we are. And intense anxiety comes up, when we see that kind of old, behaviors that show up, which are typically very habitual and based on certain patterns of behavior. So this other person that I'm working with, same sort of thing, she has made so much progress socially. And this week, particularly, she's thinking about kind of returning to school and has had a lot of anxiety come up for her. And she got really, really intensely and emotionally distressed. And she said, wow, I've made all this progress socially, and I'm really worried because I have this anxiety come up that I'm not going to be able to act on behalf of my values and really use my skills and engage in the way that I want to, and that I'm going to fall into these patterns of behavior. And we talked about, maybe your behavior will slip because of the anxiety, and the anxiety that you're having is very typical, normal, average. Like, whenever we make these big transitions, we're going to have feelings that come up, but that isn't indicative of the fact that you're regressing. It's just feelings, and I always say to invite all the feelings that come in, whether they be on the more distressing negative kind of spectrum or more of the positive ones. They're all allowed to show their face. Why? Because we're human, and we all need to accept the spectrum of behaviors. That's what makes us human. And to every human emotion, there's always positive, whether it's anger, fear, anything, right? So anger, we know, really connects us to what's important to us and to our values. Fear, right? That connects us again to what worries us or what's, again, important to us. So we may be fearful that our family will be, unsafe or whatever the case is. And that's because we love them so much. And we may become angry when somebody acts in an inappropriate way. And that reminds us of our core values and who we are. So really to embrace all those feelings and to also be able to distinguish, your past self from your current self. And people say, how do you do that? Is, you could kind of find a cue that reminds you and taps you into and grounds you into this current self, whether it's, a character, in a movie or a film or a book that represents the person that you are and want to be. That's a good cue. It could even be an inspirational word or a mantra or something that, again, reminds you that you've come such a long way and made all that progress. So we're going to tap into that place, okay, or that space that could really connect to that improved progressive side of ourselves. So if you could sit up straight, and if you feel comfortable enough, if you could close your eyes. I want you to just feel whatever's going on in your body. And notice if there's any kinks, if there's any tightness or tension. And really scan your body and notice in your breath, whatever comes up, just allow it to be. And without judging it, again, or trying to disregard it or push it away, just notice it. And be accepting that when we make change and progress and movement, it comes with fear. It comes with fear of losing ourselves. Because we want so much to move in the direction of progress and change and evolution, especially when we put a lot of hard work and commitment into it. And take that as a sign that that's important to you. That change and progress is something that you value, is something that you want to cultivate in your life. You want to grow. You want to change. You want to move. You want to flourish. And just notice what comes up in your mind when you think of progress and your resilience and your strength. And notice that the person you are is not the person you were. And the person you were is remote from the person you are. You have come far. You have worked for who you are. You are proud in your gut, in your soul, for the person you're becoming. You deserve those accolades, the praise, the support. You're here for yourself, to guide you, to hold you, to remind you of your wholeness and your greatness. That will never change. You will continue to evolve. You will continue to grow. You will continue to use your energy towards your personal growth and personal development. You can achieve anything you want. Just set your mind to it. It's never too late to be what you want to be. You have greatness inside of you. Embrace who you are. Take a moment to have gratitude for you. I have gratitude for you. Now take a deep breath in and out.